right, that was the last song. I think that one's probably pretty clear cut.
Yeah.
Um,
Just tested him. He's like, all right, this is
yeah,
two. Okay, got it.
no real issues with the song, but I was mentioning before how I thought Calypso could have some motifs from Cersei, and I feel like those could have been repeated with Penelope in an interesting way.
Oh, that would be dark.
Dark in a way, but if executed correctly, I feel like it could be really interesting because um Calypso, like I don't picture as malevolent. Like Cersei, what she was doing was definitely in defense of her island. It wasn't out of any genuine appreciation of Odysseus, but
Yeah.
for Calypso, it would have been right.
Yeah.
She's genuine in her interest in Odysseus at least. Um, and you could have a moment because in this song you just heard, Odysseus did confess the things he did on his journey,
Yeah.
and at this point, the prophet specifically said the man that made it home would no longer be him. And he might be connecting the dots there on Calypso's island. He might be wondering that even if he does get home, like is the man he is now like really what's best for his wife?
I haven't heard any monster motifs. That makes me sad.
Yeah.
He was very monster-like, and there was no monster motifs.
Could have had some monster
Like
motifs on
what?
Calypso's island if we
Or
had more than half a song.
or what if like right before Antonio said something about like not him, but like another one of like the people said
Oh
something
man,
about
if he
Odysseus
if
being
he
a
did do
monster.
the homeless bit, having the monster theme like as he's in the middle of stringing the bow,
What a monster he
he
did.
just like see he's just getting ready to string the bow, and
Doo-doo-doo.
there's literal boss music playing in the
You're like,
background,
oh shit.
a Cyclops theme or something. That'd be great.
It's just like or like it starts off with like deep down. You're like he actually starts stringing the bow. And you're like, oh fuck. Here
Right?
comes Scylla.
Yeah, but yeah, then the theme, the motif that goes from Circe to Calypso, it could come back again. Odysseus admits what he does in a similar manner with Calypso, but now in kind of appealing to his wife, so his wife gets to make the final judgment, which might be something. That was another thing is in the Vengeance Saga. You remember that part where Odysseus asked or suggested to Poseidon that maybe he could learn to forgive. I feel like that it kind of sticks out to me as feeling like not quite naturally included. Like the suggestion that Poseidon could learn forgiveness seems kind of weird coming from Odysseus at that point in time. And I feel like that might be some another thing to introduce with Calypso, where whether or not he believes it, Calypso can kind of represent the idea or propose the idea of forgiveness. And then that's where he gets it with when he suggested Poseidon, and then motifs from Calypso play when he's speaking to Penelope.
What if she was just trying to get him to forgive himself?
Well, that would be it. It's like forgiving yourself or seeking forgiveness from his wife, wherever. Athena might play a role there. He might need forgiveness from Athena first before he could forgive himself. That might be an interesting thing to do with Athena's character. A reconciliation of him and his patroness god um, might go a long way to kind of like doing a final character arc for Odysseus,
Yeah.
where he doesn't necessarily forgive himself, but he opens himself up to the possibility of being forgiven
Like he learned
by his wife.
ruthlessness, but he also learned
Right.
forgiveness for not being ruthless.
Forgiveness by his son too. I mean, yeah, even though it wasn't his fault, he was still gone for 20 years. And if the Wisdom Saga had bothered to do anything interesting with Telemachus's character, there might be a bitterness about that. Um, which could have also lent it as like in these final arcs, he gets forgiven by Athena, he gets forgiven by his son, he gets he gets forgiven by Calypso
Yeah.
first, but Calypso doesn't know him.
Yeah.
But because he doesn't really know Calypso, her forgiveness means the least, but that also makes it the easiest to accept. And then Athena, then his son, then his wife.
I mean, to be fair, they did ask quote unquote for forgiveness before, and when they gave him the weapons back,
Oh yeah, I mean
there was
that was
forgiveness.
the second song in the entire saga was him pleading with the gods to forgive him for what he was about to do.
Oh no, I was talking about when his son was in the armory. They tried. That was an act of forgiveness when they're like, you
Yeah.
know what, you're fully armed here. Like, are you sure you want to continue this path?
There you go. Another interesting place for forgiveness. That thinking about it, I just realized that whole thing though, like with how forgiveness was in the very second song, and I think yeah, the sirens begged for forgiveness as well. So forgiveness is kind of a running theme.
Maybe because he forgot that he could have forgiven them temporarily and let them hold torches instead of his men. He
And
was very upset about it.
yeah, and even then, Cersei says like her very last song says that oh god, I forget the line specifically, but she says something to the effect that kind maybe performing one act of kindness leads to kinder souls
Souls,
down the road.
yeah,
So Cersei, a character I've long since thought represented kind of that balance between
the monster,
ruthlessness and open arms.
but the
She
kinder side of the monster
yeah,
aspect, where she hadn't fully lost her sanity as the monster.
she literally has a line that's extremely applicable
To forgiveness.
to this battle. Which that could have been interesting. So like imagine this:
That whole
Calyp-
song.
Calypso's island.
Yeah.
Calypso forgives him. Athena forgives him. He gets to Ithaca and he meets with his son, and they're going over the plan. And then Telemachus is like, "Give give them an opportunity to attack me.
And then
What are you crazy? These people need to all die." And then Odysseus is like, "We need to give them at least one opportunity.
one act of kindness is what they get.
One act of kindness might lead to kinder souls down the road."
And he gives them the opportunity,
But they only get one
and they
chance.
fail it, and then they're like, "Well,
They failed.
sorry."
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. There's a lot of different options here. But I definitely think that whole forgiveness themes and motifs could have come through.
We are the ones who slay now. Because you didn't forgive him, you're like, "Oh, we are the ones who destroy now." Like,
Yeah. Still though,
because Telemachus could have had his guards waiting there around
yeah,
the corner. Right, the whole archetype you had with Telemachus being like the guard guy, right?
right.
Well, that whole battle didn't make sense with Telemachus putting himself in that position unless he had soldiers around the corner waiting with him to like, hey, we're gonna give you this opportunity. If you don't do it, like it's gonna be a bad fight for you, kind of thing. And then Odysseus is like running around on the scenes right now behind
Yeah,
the shadows,
Odysseus is just
just
like
like slaughtering
just like
everybody.
I am the knight in the
Yeah,
background.
he's playing the Dark Knight right now. He's like, I am the bad man,
He's
and he's
playing
like,
Batman that very specifically does not have a no killing policy.
this one hasn't developed the moral sense of no killing yet because this is medieval
It's funny.
Batman.
It's like he started with a no kill policy, and look where that led him. So now,
mercy mercy upon ourselves. Now die.
yeah,
He's like, oh fuck,
yeah.
it's the evil
Now
Batman.
now he's just the Punisher.
God, imagine the Punisher being like cross Batman.
Right.
God, that would be terrifying.
I mean, the Punisher is just like a worse version of Batman.
Yeah, he just punches his fist between people's
Yeah.
faces and it just explodes.
If you just took everything interesting and cool away from Batman, you'd have the Punisher.
All right, we're getting off a little topic here.
I'm sorry, I have a gripe against the
I was doing
Punisher.
it as well, but yeah, definitely, I could see that being a whole different way and approach to that situation.
Yeah.
With Telemachus being more of the objective, like coordinator here. Like he's using Athena's logic in military strategy because that's why he's also Athena's champion, not because he
Yeah.
can't coordinate a military army. Like you were saying, he should have that coordination and skill if Athena's backing him.
Yeah.
So that would be a really cool concept to see, especially if he had gotten the friends and stuff like that from old allies and had them at the keep just as hired bodyguards during this tournament. You
Right.
know what I mean? It's like the
Something.
bodyguards would be like, "No, this ain't going down like this, guys."
Something. Yeah. Just there. Not all of my suggestions would need to be done simultaneously for vast improvements to be had.
Yeah.
I and that's the thing is that these aren't necessarily the definitive versions of these songs. There has been some talk that like of going back and making some changes and revisements.
Oh.
Um,
Okay.
because all of these they're labeled a concept album,
Yeah.
and especially if he ever gets like an actual musical performance done,
Yeah.
um, changes are likely to abound.
Like
And I feel like it's it's really good to talk about all these suggestions
I just want to
for that
say,
reason.
nothing on this album hit as hard as Dangerous did on last album. Like there needs to be one banger per album, and
One
I
banger.
didn't get a banger on this album. I'm kind of
It's
upset.
there are songs I would consider bangers. However, largely they also have like one or two parts that don't quite go as hard. Like Telemic or Odysseus's beginning, like his little speech to the suitors about like everything he's been through, and then coming home and seeing his palace desecrated. That kind of sucks. I felt that was a little lame and didn't land, but all the rest of it, killing the suitors, hunting them
It was a
down, that was
banger
a
song.
banger.
It was a good song, but
It
I'm
definitely
saying
wasn't
like
dangerous.
it wasn't like or like
Yeah.
the underworld had so many.
Yeah, I mean, what we need to get you to do is we need to get you to make a tier list. I mean, the Underworld had so many because it only had three songs.
Yeah,
It
but
was three absolutely perfect
they're
songs.
so good. And then you have like Cersei's arc has got some good ones too.
Yeah,
There's a couple from there that are awesome.
yeah. I mean, I listen to the entire album minus the Wisdom Saga on repeat all the time.
Really?
Yeah, I just completely skipped the Wisdom Saga because it really just drags
I can
down
go
the
all the
whole
way up to the
experience.
wisdom, and then I have problems usually, and then
Oh,
I
you
don't know.
don't go into the Vengeance Saga?
I like some of the Vengeance songs. Like a couple of them are like for me. I think Charbitus needs reworking because I'm not really like it works for me, but it's not nothing about it. It says this is the final version of the song. Like
Yeah.
the song previous was amazing, and then you go right into Charbitus, and it's just like, dude, it's nothing like Scylla, and
Yeah.
Scylla was a fucking hit. Scylla and the
Yeah.
one before it.
Scylla was fantastic, especially in how it played into Mutiny.
So yeah, like that those other songs like can work. Like it's not like I would listen to the other songs on repeat, but like I feel like there's other songs the in between like filler song after Scylla, those songs were better orientated than like Thunderbringer is always that's not a bad one, but it's not something that I'm like, oh yeah, I need to
You don't
listen
like
to Thunderbringer.
Thunderbringer that much?
I do, but it's not. I don't. I do.
Ah, I fucking love Thunderbringer. It's one
I
of my
like
favorites.
it's. I have a mix on part of it. Like I like some of it, and then some of it I don't. Like I'd rather listen to the Poseidon song than Thunderbringer.
Huh.
Like the Poseidon one, that one I could listen to all day versus Thunderbringer.
I really enjoy Thunderbringer largely because of Zeus. Like I really love Zeus's voice in that. He has this perfect balance of being full of himself
Yeah.
while also being like competent, confident, and holding all the
Now,
power.
I know it is Zeus in the first song as well
Kind of
about
kind of like a
just
guy
men.
that has an inflated ego of himself, but it's obviously justified because he's motherfucking Zeus.
Yeah. But you have to go back and forth and listen to that song and the first song on the album as well about where Zeus actually does give them the prophecy
Right.
and like just I don't know like I like that concept with like the eagle and everything else, but like I don't know, like Helios plays a big part in when the cows, right?
Yeah.
But we don't really talk much about Helios telling Zeus that he's going to go shine the underworld if Zeus doesn't do anything in Thunderbringer to Odysseus for his crew eating the cattle. That's not really even talked about much in.
It's not talked about because I don't think it's really relevant to the story. Like there is only a limited amount of time to get anything done,
Yeah.
and you kind of have to prioritize what's most important to Odysseus.
Like, wouldn't it be fun if you heard Helios instead speak when they played God games? Helios could have been a cool part. They could have integrated in there to have him like have a negative say of Odysseus. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's another thing that kind of irks me about gods games is like how are the gods chosen? Because
I don't like.
Poseidon would want to have a vote,
Yeah.
even if they disqualify him because of his interest. It kind of feels weird that he wouldn't even protest
Like, who even chose
or
this panel?
wasn't informed this was going on. Um,
Hephaestus' role was
and then
completely uncalled for as well.
yeah,
That was
Hephaestus had no. Well, none of the gods really had a stake there. That's one of the things that sucks about it is that I. I mean, I complained about this all before, but none of the people that are voting had a single horse in this race in its outcome, and that just makes for poor stakes. Um,
poor stakes indeed.
but I think the important thing, AJ, is that what Helios threatens to do if Zeus doesn't punish Odysseus isn't the important thing.
He's gonna bring the sun
Zeus
to the underworld.
punishing Odysseus is the important thing, and so the story cuts out what it has to. Um,
I feel
However,
that.
Charybdis, back to Charybdis. I do feel like there more could be done there. Um, the saga as a whole doesn't usually have a ton of songs that only do one thing in a single thing. The Circe arc had a couple, like like wouldn't you like really only does one single thing, and that's introduce Hermes and
Oh, the moly root is another whole concept as
yeah,
well. We don't talk about is
yeah.
that Helios actually struck because Helios is actually the father of what's it called, Circe.
Is he?
Yeah. So
I
that
thought Circe.
Helios, I think somebody's, I think it was Helios struck down the fucking one of the Cyclopses that was gonna rape her in the war between the two, like the Titans and everything else, and that's from that other Titan's blood the moly flower grew from.
Huh.
So Helios struck down
But mm,
the one of the Titans, and that's the only place you get the moly flower or from is from the Titan's blood it grew from,
right. Um.
which she was raped from. That's why I thought it was funny that Hermes sent her a message because she's like, "How the fuck did you get this flower?" Because like this flower was fucked up.
Yeah. I don't know.
Traumatic experience for her.
Yeah. I don't know about all that. It
Pretty
would
sure it
be.
was
I mean,
Helios.
that would be near impossible to work in. But
Well, no one talked and saying
still,
that
though,
background. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
As
it's
far as
background.
where the moly
Um.
flower came from, that one song you're specifically talking about has this like whole other seed
Yeah.
that they didn't talk about.
Well, what I was back to what I was saying about like songs that only do one thing is Cersei's arc had a couple that were really only doing one thing. The Storm arc had a few that didn't really do too much, only did one thing. The Wisdom Saga was basically nothing but. But Charybdis is really just there's a monster and I get past it, and with little else going on.
Full speed ahead,
It
pretty
does.
much.
However, in all the cases where there is a song that really only does one thing, the song is usually a banger. And even though not much of interest happens in the Charybdis song, and Charybdis isn't really used to its full extent, it does sound really good. I'll give the Vengeance Saga that. It's like I feel like there were multiple lesser plot beats that could have been done better, but every song in Vengeance and Ithaca Saga I feel sounds really good.
Oh, we also weren't fully explained why Poseidon was scared of Scylla.
Right.
We lightly, I think, talked about that too.
Yeah, it was like Scylla was one of the things he had a past dalliance with, right? Oh yeah, it was like some woman he had an affair with, and then his wife made him turn Scylla into a monster.
Yeah, well, yeah, she was. Well, Poseidon's wife didn't like his affair, so she
Yeah,
changed her into a monster kind of thing. She was a Nereid, and the Nereid changed the Nereid into that monster.
Yes.
Fun story.
Yeah. All fun stuff.
Except for
But
those sirens.
well, now
Don't
AJ,
have details
the saga's done. This is our last recording on this
until they revise it.
until they make revisements or any other project come out. But cool stuff.
Right. It was a fun story.
Yeah, wild ride.
Till next time, guys.
See you later.